Check Pro Joe here on the Check Pro radio show. I'll tell you what I really love. I love no or little maintenance. When I had my new landscaping put in, I told the landscaping people, I don't want to have maintenance. I want things that can like live through drought, live through floods. I don't want to have to trim it, prune it. I don't like maintenance. Well, I'll tell you, the same thing would also happen when it comes to anything outside, including my deck. So I brought a deck expert in, Loren Goodrich. Loren, how are you?
Doing great, Jim. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So, is there such thing as a no or low maintenance deck? Because I just told everybody I'm really not into maintaining stuff. And I will say something before you answer this question. When I was younger, I remember having to constantly work on the deck. We'd have to, strip it down, sand it down, and stain it, and then we would have to then put another coat so it would not, lose its luster, and also to keep the wood, because it was all wood, to keep it from rotting. And there was just a lot of maintenance, and inevitably would have to take out some planks and put new ones in. So can I get away with no maintenance today?
You can't get away with no maintenance. A no maintenance deck is a myth, but you can get away with a low maintenance. Low maintenance would be, you still have to watch the deck. You're going to get pollen on it. You're going to get leaves on it. So that would imply a little bit of maintenance. But the days of power washing your deck every year and having to stain it and sand it, that's over for a lot of people. There's still some people that choose to go with traditional wood decks, and we maintain a lot of traditional wood decks, but I always recommend going with composite, low maintenance deck, specifically Trex. Trex is the leading deck company in the industry, a decking manufacturer, and they do really a superior job with their quality and their products. And they also have great warranties. But you can absolutely get a low maintenance deck. So if you hired a deck company to build you a Trex deck, if that deck is installed per the manufacturer's recommendation, there's a whole list of things you need to make sure that's done. But if it's done correctly, then you can expect that deck to serve you for years and years and years with minimal maintenance.
I love these composite products today because they look like the real thing. Like hardy plank siding. It looks like wood siding on a house. Well, Trex looks like wood planks on a deck, right?
It does. When you get down and look at it, it's still plastic, but you take a picture of it and look at it, or walk up on your deck and you're just admiring it. Yeah, absolutely. It's in some instance it's even more beautiful because the boards they're manufactured, so they're not perfect, but they're a lot more perfect than wood.
Sure. So they do put some imperfections in on purpose so it doesn't look like a manufactured tile may look like like a subway tile, right? They're all shiny
Absolutely.
white.
It's especially in your higher end decking products, you have some color variations in there, which really helps. If you choose a low end deck, deck board, it's going to be a solid color without any color variations in it. But the main thing is you're not going to get the splitting, you're not going to get the warping, you're not going to get big old knot holes. One of the problems with traditional pine decks is knots, and when the deck, the deck has a lot of water in it from the treatment process, and a pine tree just soaks up water, it just wicks it up. So when you put a pine board on your deck and the sun hits it and it dries out, well, a lot of times you have knots that literally fall out. So you not only have a knot in your deck, now you just got a big hole in your deck. That's not uncommon at all.
Yeah, no, those knots do turn into holes over time. I will say natural products like stone, we use a lot of natural stone now in our homes and outside, like granite countertops. Natural wood products are great, but sometimes they're just not practical. And we want to have practicality in our outdoor living spaces. And today, with technology, it looks great and it performs very well. And I think it's the way to go. Is it a little more expensive?
It is a little more expensive on the front end. On the long haul, it's actually cheaper, Jim.
Yeah,
I'll
and
give
that
you
makes
a
sense.
quick example of that. If you installed just middle of the road Trex Select deck, I made some notes of this for you. If you installed 400 square feet of Trex Select decking at an average cost of $35 a square foot, that's $14,000. Now, picture this. This is just ground level deck, just 400 square feet of platform. You did the same out of pressure treated pine. That would be about $25 a square foot. So $1,000 or $10,000 for the project. And then you still have to stain it. So add another $1,300 on there. That's for year one. And then 2 years later, you have to stain it and wash it again. So you're another $29.40 to clean it and stain it on year three. And then by year five, you have to do it again. So in 5 years, just 5 years, Jim, that's it. Your $10,000 pressure treated pine deck is now $14,580 on average, whereas your Trex deck that you spent $14,000 5 years ago still looks just like you put it in, and it hasn't cost you any more money.
Basically, get it done right the first time. Hey, Loren, this has been great. Thank you so much for answering this question of, does it make sense to get a maintenance free, or can I get one? And you say, well, really can't get totally maintenance free, but it's the next best thing, and that's using a composite type product like Trex.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, Loren. I appreciate it. All of Loren's information is located in the show notes, so there's no excuse not to reach him. And he is a guy who would love to talk to you over the phone or come out and visit you personally and help you with your project.